Yeah. Good evening, friends. It's indeed a great honor for me to address you on this first webcast being conducted on the Companies Act 2013. I'm extremely happy that the Corporate Laws Committee, under the dynamic leadership of Sri Santana Krishnan, has organized this webcast as an initiative to empower the members to have the latest developments, latest knowledge on the new Companies Act that is now a reality. And the Corporate Laws Committee is planning to have a series of webcasts throughout the year so that we're able to update the members on various important changes that have taken place in the new Companies Act. Friends, I can only say that yes, the profession has a huge responsibility on its shoulders with the enactment of the new Companies Act. Lot of challenges, but at the same time, there are plenty of opportunities for all of us. As an institute, we are very keen to ensure that the members of our profession are completely ready to help the government in the speedy implementation of the Companies Act, ensuring that there's a smooth transition for the companies to migrate from the provisions of the old Companies Act into the new Companies Act. And we have made a request to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We have committed to them that yes, we will help them in the very good implementation of the new Companies Act. Friends, some of the concerns which we as a profession are facing today by the new Companies Act are like this. The first one, which I could say that yes, National Financial Reporting Authority, the section has not been notified. This is a big solace to the profession. As an institute, we were concerned. We had made it very clear to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs that there is no need for multiplicity of regulators, and we said that the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is doing its regulatory role perfectly. We have a very strong disciplinary mechanism. We have the Financial Reporting Review Board. We have the peer review mechanism. We also have a strong ethical standards code. And we made a representation of the ministry after detailed deliberations in the council that there is no need for having another regulator to regulate the profession. We also felt that yes, as a regulator today, we are involved in the formulation of accounting and auditing standards, and we made a representation to them stating that this should be the domain of the institute to formulate the accounting and audit standards. When we met the Honorable Minister for Corporate Affairs, Sachin Pilot, and we expressed our concerns, they gave us a very patient hearing and they assured us definitely they look into all the concerns. And I'm very happy to state that yes, this particular section on the National Financial Reporting Authority has not been notified, and this is good news for the profession. On the second issue of audit rotation, members are aware that this is the first time audit rotation is being introduced in India, and we believe that yes, this will bring in a lot of practical problems in the profession. But only good news is that the representation of the institute to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs was that in the initial draft rules that were hosted, that was put up for debate, we had said that private limited companies and one-person companies should be outside the ambit of audit rotation. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs accepted our views, and I'm happy to say that now audit rotation is now applicable only to listed companies and large size private limited companies, and most of the small private limited companies would be outside the ambit of audit rotation. I'm sure since India is a country having a large number of small and medium practitioners, the audit rotation, what has been introduced in the new Companies Act, would really not hamper the professional development, and we personally believe that audit rotation having been restricted only to the large size companies and large size private sector companies is a good beginning. Because friends, globally audit rotation as a concept has not taken off, and even in the recent board meeting conducted by IFAC, where there was a presentation made by various jurisdictions on audit rotation, we came to know that yes, audit rotation has not been a success in many countries, but yes, India audit rotation has started, and we hope that this audit rotation, the intention of the government to see that audit rotation begins in India, would be a step in the right direction. But the third area of concern for us is the cap on the number of audits. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India had made a representation again stating that the cap on the number of audits today has been fixed at 20. We said that this cap should not be applicable to private limited companies and one-person companies, because we felt that many chartered accountants would be impacted by this cap. But nevertheless, now that the final rules have been notified, we have seen that there has been no change. The number of audits, the cap on the number of audits would continue at 20, and this would be applicable to all categories of companies, whether it's public limited companies, private limited companies, 1% companies across the board. Today a chartered accountant will not be able to conduct more than 20 audits. This morning we had a meeting with the secretary of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and we have made a representation to the ministry stating that this does not augur well for the profession, and we have made a request to them that this particular cap on the number of audits should be relooked, and the ministry has assured us in a very short time from now they'll be looking into it. They've been able to appreciate our concern. I'm sure in the months to come we will have some relief as to the number of cap on the number of audits. Finally, friends, on the issue of fraud reporting, many concerns have been raised by our members that today the concept of fraud reporting is so large. There's a huge responsibility on the auditors to report on frauds. And considering the fact that today fraud reporting is mandatory, we have decided to come out with a guidance note on reporting on frauds. The Auditing and Assurance Standards Board of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is planning to come out with guidance to members so that we are able to report to frauds. And only one thing I can tell the members present viewing this webcast is that fraud reporting has increased our responsibilities, and it is essential for us to live up to the expectations of the New Companies Act. Friends, the institute is all set to see that how best we are able to educate our members with the New Companies Act. We have planned a series of initiatives, and I am very happy that Santana Krishnan, the chairman of the Corporate Laws Committee, has put in a lot of effort. And in fact, I could say that in the entire rule-making initiative, Santana Krishnan has played a very important role. And we are very confident that under his dynamic chairmanship, we'll be able to empower our members on the developments taking place in this new piece of legislation. Also, Mr. Nilesh Vikamse, the Vice Chairman, will be supporting the initiatives of the Corporate Laws Committee. And some of the initiatives what we have planned is that we plan to have chain seminars across the country in all the 147 branches of the country. We like to say chain seminars. The Corporate Laws Committee would also come out with background material for these chain seminars so that we'll have uniform education being imparted on the New Companies Act. Number two, we plan to come out with 100 videos of 20 minutes each, which will be made available to the members on their handheld, on their mobile phone, their iPads, and they're able to view the videos of various topics under the Companies Act. So if they are on the move, if they are traveling to a particular place, they'll be able to see these short videos and be able to update their knowledge on the New Companies Act. The Auditing and Assurance Standards Board has been given a mandate to come out with guidance to members on various aspects of the New Companies Act. As I already said, we're coming out with the guidance note on fraud reporting, and we have plans to come out with guidance to members on various other aspects of reporting under the New Companies Act. The Ethical Standards Board also would look into the issue of audit rotation. They would also come out with guidelines as to what are the practical problems faced by the members and firms for audit rotation. They'll be looking into it, examining it, and they'll be coming to the council, and then we'll be able to provide guidance to the members on audit rotation also. Friends, we have also requested the Direct Taxes Committee, the Indirect Taxes Committee, and of course the International Taxation Committee to examine the various issues, tax issues, the international tax issues, the direct tax issues that would emanate out of these new legislations. And we have decided to form expert groups across the country so that we are able to go into the details, various sections of the Companies Act, and have proper study done so that we can share it with the members. Finally, I can only say that yes, our endeavor is to see that we are able to communicate with all the research that we are carrying out on this, on the studies that we carried on that. We'll be hosting it at the Knowledge Gateway. We've already made a beginning on the new Knowledge Gateway which we have launched on the 12th of February 2014. We have hosted a lot of information on the New Companies Act. PowerPoint presentations also have been hosted, which will be useful to the members. And friends, we would seek your active participation, and we would be very happy to receive your suggestions. And of course, we will be carrying out a special issue of our journal wherein we'll have a lot of good articles on the Companies Act, and this will help the members to sort of prepare themselves for the new regime. But only one thing I could tell the members present, that yes, there's a need for all of us to put in a lot of effort to learn this new act. We have to unlearn what we have learned, and I'm sure members of the profession are ready to face the challenges. And I see a lot of opportunities for our profession, which during the course of the session, Mr. Santana Krishnan would highlight you. I wish you good luck, and I hope that yes, as members of the profession, we live up to the expectations of the government and see how best we can bring about a change in the new companies law. Thank you very much.